Hi again. Welcome to Pearl Magazine. Tonight, the lost year. With much of last semester written off because of civil unrest, Hong Kong schools remain shut, this time due to the coronavirus outbreak. Later in the show, even though classrooms remain quiet, some hard lessons are being learned by students and educators. But first, through hard times and better times, Hong Kong trams continue to click-clack down the tracks. But these days, our beloved ding-ding is more than just public transport. Pearl Magazine's Tina Jiang shows us how the tram is becoming an event destination for sightseeing, anniversaries, and partiers who just want to let the good times roll.
I'm Joseph. My house is near the tramway, so I'm familiar with the ding ding sound because the ding ding sound just like an alarm clock waking me up every day.
Zhe has always been fascinated with trams since he was a boy, and he has been taking photos of them for over 10 years.
When I walk down the street, I bring along with my cameras and see the trams and then take one, see another tram, take another and another one. Taking photo is one of the way to record the history and also ride the trams every day, so to keep the moments in my mind.
Apart from taking photos, he's also collected everything about the tram.
This one I buy from the internet. When I was studying in my school age, I saved the money for eating lunch for many months to get this one. And this one is made in Russia. I've never been to Russia.
Over the years, the trams have become part of Zhe's life. It is also a place where he met his wife.
The first day is quite a last-minute thinking because my wife works in a weekday and only have holiday in Sunday. So decide to bring her to take the first tram ride. I remember that day we meet at Western Market.
Everything went well. Soon after that, they fell in love. Zhe had always dreamt of having a tram party for a long time, but he didn't know the first tram party he'd have would be his wedding.
We get married in Hong Kong, and then the next day we book the tram party. So we are lucky to book a tram party in such short time, and the tramways give me some special offer as well.
A 20% discount and priceless memories.
At the beginning, I think not many people will come because many schoolmates lost contact for many years. But that day, I'm surprised my primary schoolmates and my best friend, also some motorman friend, joined my party. So I'm very excited. I organized a tram party in my life. So it's an everlasting memory for me.
With endless birthdays, anniversaries, and engagements, there's always an excuse to celebrate. Tramways noticed the potential behind it. Facing competition from the MTR these years, the company has struggled to diversify its revenue streams by appealing to the tourism and event markets.
In 1986, the tram party was developed, so it's absolutely unique. So early, the company already thought that there could be some interest for the public to have that private hiring. So it's still super successful, very popular.
The antique tram number 28 and number 128 were built for the tram tours, private parties, and promotion purposes. They have an open balcony design with sofas and lights that make them twinkle at night.
I've been to Christmas parties on the tram, work parties on the tram, always a good time. The only issue is there's no toilet. But other than that, they're good fun to see people and wave and make a lot of noise and just make a scene of yourself, really.
Born and raised in Hong Kong, Englishman Mark Bro has a lot of his childhood memories related to the tram.
I definitely remember getting the tram with my father to and from his office at the weekend, and I've got my own child now, and I'm looking forward to taking her on the tram in the near future when she can look out the window and wave at people, I guess.
3 years ago, he opened a tram-themed liquor store in Kennedy Town.
We were going to call it the end of the line because we are the last stop on the tram, but we thought tramline made a bit more sense. We're big fans of the tram. We like having the tram right here. It adds a lot of atmosphere to the shop.
Many people who book the party trams often come to his store, stock up on beer and wine before heading to the Whitty Street Depot, the starting point of tram parties.
Because I really like gin.
Yeah, and we'd like gin as well. So as we come into summertime, hopefully it gets a little bit cooler. We do get, which is quite nice, is a lot of tourists will kind of come off the tram and get some beers. And I know a lot of people who bring people into town or have guests. They like to come here, grab some beers or some wine or whatever, and get the tram towards Hamilton, Happy Valley, the horse racing, the markets down in North Point, etc. Especially when the sun is out like this, and you can see the sunset from the pier over there. It's kind of like a pretty good spot to hang out.
Bro says one day he'd like to organize a tram party that starts from his shop.
We'd like to invite anyone who wants to come down and celebrate the trams in Hong Kong with some good local beers or beers from New Zealand, UK. So anyone who enjoys that, anyone who likes a good time, anyone who wants to chat, yeah, anyone really. Happy to chat to anyone and see what they think of the tram and our shop and hopefully have a good time.
To attract more customers, Bro painted his shop interior tram green and created a logo with the Chinese characters for Ding Ding.
You don't see many trams this green anymore, but beforehand they all used to be this dark green. So we spent a bit of time actually trying to find the exact palette for the green and painted the shop that color.
But why were the trams painted green in the first place?
At that time, just after the war, the economy was down. Everything has to be done through a cost-saving way. And the most available colors, painting colors at the moment, were the brown, the green, and the black, which were the painting used for the war industry. So it seems that it is for this reason that worldwide, a lot of urban furnitures, transport systems has chosen this kind of dark green.
The heritage green is now covered by advertising. Aubin says that is something that makes Hong Kong trams unique.
If you want to know the last advertising campaign, the last product for the more famous brands, all this information available on the trams. So it's not just about advertising, it's all about this very complex connection that the trams brings between the citizens.
The Hong Kong Tramway is now owned and run by a joint venture between two French operators of public transport. Their challenge is bringing customers back, since passenger numbers have been on a steady decline since 2009. A retired city planner even organized a campaign to have the tramway scrapped. 3 years ago, Aubin came to Hong Kong to help the company's business in Asia.
Our company has been running the tram for 10 years now. We purchased the company to the Wharf Holdings Limited. They operated the tram since 1974.
In 2018, Tramways took a new turn in its business development, and this led to the launch of a premium party tram, a mobile social club in the city.
So this is the first floor.
This is the first floor where we have this kind of very classic design with some high quality leather.
So far, the new tram has been used for art salons, concerts, debates, and private functions. Only members are allowed on board. The membership is limited to 108 people per year and costs $20,000 up front.
6 local designers has worked on that tram. We have 3 different lounges. Also, we have bring some kind of interesting innovation. We have some toilets on board.
Besides the toilet, this tram is also equipped with a fridge, a minibar, and a brand new air conditioning system. Plans to install air conditioning on trams first surfaced as early as 2000, but were shelved due to technical issues. So far, the Tramways hasn't deployed air conditioning systems on all the vehicles, but Aubin says they're still investigating.
We have a drop in ridership during the summertime. Now, having some air conditioning is something we are considering, but it comes with a lot of technological issues, some power supply issues, some maintenance issues, some design issues.
The cultural value of the tram is another thing the company has to take into consideration.
It is true, if we have the air conditioning, basically we have to close all the windows. Hong Kong tram is one of the only transport worldwide where you can still travel with open windows. So if suddenly we change the fleet to be fully equipped with air conditioning, in losing the identity, then I think we would be on the wrong direction. So we are still considering 115 years of operations. We are not in a hurry.
After the break, class is still out, but there are lots of lessons to learn from the coronavirus outbreak. Stay with us. Welcome back. After months of civil unrest and now the coronavirus outbreak, Hong Kong schools remain deserted. But students and teachers are under pressure to make up for lost time. Pearl Magazine's April Zhou found out how the Great Cram Session is going.
It's 1 month after Chinese New Year, yet this campus is silent. It's supposed to be filled with students overflowing with energy, eager to learn and grow. Emergency measures are now in place to stop the spread of the novel coronavirus. Since the government raised the response level to emergency on January 25th, the first day of the new year, everyone has waited to hear when they'll be called back to school.
To protect school children, special schools, kindergartens, primary schools, and secondary schools will resume school later, that is on the 17th of February.
The Education Bureau issued 4 closure extensions since then to April 20th.
I've been at home for about a month, and I really miss my school life and friends a lot.
Adrian Leung is a Form 6 student. With the Diploma of Secondary Education Exams, or DSEs, approaching, students should be taking mock exams. But instead of attending his last mock test before the real deal, Adrian has to take it online, at home.
I feel very nervous because I haven't covered all the topics, and I have high expectations to myself, so I'm afraid that I'm performed poorly in this exam.
He worked hard to improve it, but he says e-learning at home slows down his progress.
I can't jot notes because there are no hard copies, and sometimes I encounter some technical problems because I can't open the file given by the teachers. There are lots of questions I want to ask teachers, but you know, at home you can't. Teachers can't respond to you quickly. It's pretty long time to wait for the teacher to answer me.
I do have a strong feeling that our students are quite worried about the DSE this year. Quite a number of them told me that they found it actually quite difficult and challenging to focus on the learning tasks for a long period of time at home.
On February 25th, the testing authority decided to keep the original date of the DSE written tests. But Adrian says he wishes it could be postponed for 1 month.
I worry about the health and safety, as I think it may be so crowded if too many students are in one venue to have the exam. It may cause the social outbreak of the virus.
Local students are not the only ones suffering. Those taking tests for universities overseas are also affected. The International Baccalaureate, or IB exam, is going to take place in May as planned. Olina Pang is a Year 13 IB student in an international school. She's preparing for the test.
We don't have a choice. I guess I'm worried because we haven't quite yet finished the course.
Olina takes online courses at the moment, but still needs to come to school once a week for her visual arts subject.
I have to finish my art pieces that's part of the IB exam.
There's only a few students that come in at the moment, probably 3 or 4 when we have a year 13 class. The students are coming in if they need to use the facilities and materials. So one of the students has just come in because she needs to do something quite complicated and she doesn't have the facilities at home.
Catherine Sparrow, the head teacher of visual arts, keeps coming to school 3 days a week for students who need help.
I feel really sorry for them. I've got a lot of empathy for them because they're very upset about the situation. I think it's more challenging for them than if it was a normal year. But I think they learn from it. You know, like sometimes when bad things happen, you know, it makes students tougher.
Olena's school principal, Harry Brown, says small groups of tutorials for students facing examinations are permitted by the government. But on the whole, the school still sticks with the conservative approach to follow the regular timeline issued by the Education Bureau.
EDB has given us permission from the very start of bringing in our students in small groups for assessment. What we're doing already is that we are having students sign in, have their temperature taken, sign out. There's hand gel for them there if they need it, and those masks are optional.
He says the school won't offer masks to students, but will do so if students don't have masks during the exam.
We are concerned about the supply of masks for an extended period because no one knows how long this is going to last. We don't currently have a supply that would last us through the end of the year if we had to issue masks every day. Good news is that all of our students who have been coming to school already have them, so they may have a supply at home.
Parents say they worry more about their children's health than their education. Damio Cheng says it's fine with him if his 9-year-old daughter Kaylin has to stay at home for a longer period.
If every student go to school, at least they need 2 masks a day. And students are not conscious with their personal hygiene. So we have to pay more attention. The second thing is we have students from China, especially school in Shaanxi, Yunnan, Kunming. We are not going to discriminate them, but we feeling comfortable with students the everyday commute between China and Hong Kong.
Damio admits he's feeling a bit overwhelmed working for his NGO and taking care of his daughter.
Can parents use only 3 hours to replace the whole work of a teacher? That is impossible. So we not only the one to follow up the homework, but also teach our kids how to do the homework. That is the key point that I think is far too difficult for most parents nowadays.
He can't rely on his mother-in-law, who has the time to help, but...
My mother-in-law definitely has no knowledge on e-learning, and she even cannot log in the system. It's quite complicated to her. So at the very beginning, I found it's very difficult for me to help. Every day, she has nothing to do with the homework until I come home.
Damio had to think of another way. He checks the list of online homework as the teacher posts it and takes a picture of them, then sends them to his mother-in-law's smartphone. Kaylin provides the answers and then scans them into the system.
I think schools are not ready for e-learning. My daughter is only 9 years old. They cannot do typing, and they cannot master the keyboard. I expressed to school, I think they understand that. But the point is the outbreak happened too quickly. It's hard for them to get everything in place.
Some of the teachers agree that Hong Kong schools weren't prepared to switch to an online platform in an emergency.
Hi students, welcome back. Honestly, I'm not the expert, so I just have limited knowledge on technologies. I spent a lot of time exploring how to use them. I remember the first time I tried to use Screencastify. It's quite a challenge for me.
Shaimin Chong is a secondary school teacher. She says she spends 4 to 5 hours on her work during the class suspension. A great part of the day is dealing with technical questions from her students.
Every day I got lots of messages from my students telling me, oh, what happened? I submit the form, but it said I haven't submitted. I'm very busy answering my students' inquiries.
While social media channels have become the main platform for teacher-student interaction, Shaman worries about the quality of the students' work.
I do worry, especially every time I click, I can see how many students submit their work, how many of them don't. And the first time I was quite shocked. Only like around 10 students submit their work. But for the whole form, we got over 100 students.
She says a lot of students delay submitting their assignments, even if they're given a week to do it. Shaman School has decided to offer live online lessons from March. Workshops will be held for teachers to prepare.
Frankly speaking, in this period of time, I think most of us really improve a lot in terms of using some particular apps or software, which can, in particular, like the teleconferencing one, that allows us to teach online.
喂 ，Hello， 鐘太，係啊，想提一提你咧，就係你應該。
We want to facilitate the teacher-student interaction better, and also we have so-called the sunshine phone call, okay, to the parents, especially during this period of time, telling them that for this particular critical moment, parents' guidance and support to the students is also very, very important.
Damio says the most important education for now is teaching students to learn from the crisis.
To me, I don't really worry about academic performance. Learning is different to classroom training. I think that's the best time for her to learn how to deal with adversity or public crisis, because this is a good opportunity.
Brown encourages students to go outside during the suspension for more social interaction.
As human beings, we're social beings. I do hope that families are giving students the opportunity to leave their flat, to go out and interact in some way with students. I know it's a risk, but I think there's even a greater risk to having some students stay at home. The weather's getting better, it's warmer. Let's encourage students also in small groups to go ahead and share and grow, because that well-being issue often has to do with the feeling of connection and fellowship and friendship.
That's our show for this week. Next time, big and small, on a street corner or in a mall, Hong Kong restaurants have hit hard times. But amid all the economic gloom, business is booming for virtual restaurants. And the F&B industry may never be the same. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.